Wait. I didn't actually throw my game away. That was just for dramatic effect. It wasn't all that bad. There were some good things about it. Like, take the graphics and the audio. Incredible. When you played this game, it felt like you were in the Star Wars universe.
Wow, look at these graphics! Hey, you! Play the objective! Whoa, this rock looks so real!
Just let him be. It'll wear off soon.
Guys, have you seen these rocks? They're so high realistic.
But aside from that, there was just no depth to the game. It played like a Battlefield game with a Star Wars skin on it.
I just wanted to be like you.
And I wanted you to be better.
And EA made a lot of money off this game. They sold over 12 million copies within 2 months of release and made over $650 million. That's insane. That's more than most of the movies that came out this year made. Now, I've been reading between the lines and have come up with this theory that EA made Star Wars Battlefront crap on purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some good things about it, yes, but by no means was it anything close to what Battlefront 3 should have been. I think they knew they had a solid idea for a game that would make them a ton of money, so instead of giving it to us in one game, they built a solid base with the first one and saved everything the community wanted for the second game. This will allow them to make twice as much money, and here are my 4 points that support this. Right off the bat, there was a huge lack of content. That's right, I said it. Why was there no campaign? If you remember, the original Battlefront had this amazing campaign that let you go behind the scenes of the movies and play these missions where you got to storm the Jedi Temple, kill Padme's decoy on Naboo, and even play as a stormtrooper and raid the Camino factory to end the production of clones. The campaign just added so much depth to the game. It made you feel a part of the Star Wars universe. But seeing this lack of content, EA tried to make up for it by releasing a season pass for another $60 that just included content that should have been in the game itself. It was a sad excuse for EA to take more money out of our pockets. Essentially, EA is a Death Star and your wallet is Alderaan. Boom! Good luck finding anything there. And not even a year later, we see EA release a bundle including the original game and all the DLC for just $20. And there was close to no in-game customization. I don't know what they were thinking with the helmetless stormtroopers, but it wasn't very screen accurate like they were going for. I would have loved to see some simple cosmetic upgrades like gas mask, maybe some shoulder pads, battle damage on your armor, even some ponchos and capes would be cool. Just something to make the character yours. And kinda hoping we see some weapon customization in Battlefront 2. Being able to equip different stocks or scopes would be neat, and overall, limiting the game to just one era of Star Wars essentially limited the amount of content as well as guaranteed the second game. And not to mention, the best part of the original Battlefront was left out. Heroes versus villains. They tried to satisfy us with this mock-up where the heroes had one life and there were soldiers fighting alongside you, but it wasn't the same. And not too long ago, the actual coding for the heroes versus villains battles we wanted were found deep in the game's code as a canceled project that was never finished, almost as if someone was trying to give us what we wanted and EA found out about it and shut it down. Moving on, we have multiplayer, which seemed very outdated and basic, as if EA hadn't taken any of the improvements the genre has seen over the years. Very quickly, certain strategies were abused that would make you near impossible to kill. For example, you could jetpack into the air and shoot explosives at everyone under you, which would make these abilities reload so you could go around doing it over and over again until you got bored and jumped off a cliff. And the win rates were heavily determined by what team you were on. The Empire won nearly every time on Hoth, and the Rebels will constantly win on Endor. And these maps are just giant fields that everyone ends up running across, spamming grenades and sniping each other. Whereas the old Battlefront maps were very strategic, with cross sections and corridors spread throughout that promoted team play and led to constant engagements. But without a doubt, every time Vader came around a corner, your soul would leave you. Gave me a heart attack every time. And unless you spent countless hours a day leveling up and unlocking better guns, you were just killed by all the little kids who were. And that's nice and all unless you've got a day job and a family you're coming home to and just want to sit down and have some fun. But you can't, because you keep getting wrecked by the same kid with the DL-44. And when you wanted to play as a hero, there was a good chance a noob would be camping to pick up the token, do that little dance in your face, then disappear to become a hero, which they last 30 seconds before falling off a cliff or getting shot in the face with a smart rocket. Then you've got to sit around and wait for another hero token, hoping you'll get to it first as you watch the other team's hero rack up all the kills.
Hey, have you seen Lord Vader anywhere?
Nah, man, he already got taken out by Skywalker.
What? He just got here a second ago.
Yeah, man, that noob was token camping again. That's the third time this match.
Don't worry, we'll push him back. We just need another hero.
You mean villain?
What?
Darth Vader is a villain.
What, you don't think we're the good guys?
Well, I mean...
Look, man, I'm just working here. I got a family to feed. But, dude, the rebels came to us. Just because some farm boy thinks he's a Jedi doesn't mean we're the bad guys.
Don't make me kill you!
See? He says that as he kills them. Does that sound like a hero to you?
I don't know, man. I'm just trying to be reasonable.
Oh, look, new token.
No, wait. Please, I surrender. Ah!
Give up while you still can!
Ooh, hero token.
And another thing, I can't tell you how many times I've spawned into a thermal imploder going off or in the middle of an enemy airstrike and get killed before I realized I've spawned in. And on the larger game modes, you'll spawn in and have to run well over 200 meters to get to the objective every time you respawn. No one wants to spend 5 minutes running every time you die. But moving on to the next point, which is less noticeable but just as important, there is no replayability to the game. There are no long-term goals to pursue. The only form of entertainment this game offers is doing well and killing other people. But once you realize how shallow of an accomplishment this is, it stops being fun. Without the slow progression system, you'd be left with about 3 hours of content. And to make up for this lack of content, mainly offline, EA released a skirmish mode which flopped immediately. It was a token pickup based game on a timer, which you couldn't even be on the same team if you played split screen with a friend. There's just nothing to come back to and play once the multiplayer servers get shut down. The game itself was built to be shallow on purpose. And last but not least, EA's history. Now, EA has a history of following this pattern we can see if we look closely at its past, so we're going to find one of EA's games with a good concept, just like how Battlefront is unique. So we've got a Star Wars shooter for the first time in 10 years. Let's see, an online multiplayer first-person shooter that allows you to get in and out of mechs throughout the game. Perfect. Titanfall. Okay, let's see. When it was first released, it had no campaign, barely any maps, not too many weapons, and had some DLC that was released to make up for the lack of content that cost the same price as the game, only to have a bundle released down the road including everything for $20. Sound familiar? Now let's look at Titanfall 2. It's got an amazing campaign, multiplayer has a bunch more maps, and all the DLC drops are free. I think they're already on their 6th drop with more on the way. So following this game's history, we've got Battlefront 2 almost here with an amazing campaign, more maps, more heroes. They've replaced the token pickups with a card system, free DLC for everyone, and also an arcade mode, which is the equivalent to instant action from the original Battlefronts. There's going to be more customization for multiplayer, and they're finally listening to the community and giving us a true heroes versus villains mode like the one from the originals. Honestly, I have a lot of faith in this game, and I don't think it'll be a letdown by any means. Not necessarily because it's EA that's making it, but because of what they've done in the past with this pattern. I've got to say, I'm so excited for this game and can't wait to get my hands on it.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
For the Republic! Joy Fleet, dead ahead!
Yeah, that's been me these last few weeks. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the new game are, as well as what you thought of the first one they made. I know there were quite a few people on both sides, but voice your opinion. I want to know what you thought about it, and also what you think about this pattern that EA has used to make all the money from the community. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video if you found it interesting or entertaining at all, and subscribe for more videos. I will see you in the next video. Peace.